So today, I was just got this notification, like so many millions of people around the world had gotten, that Bob Procter has passed away. And, I just really am grateful because at this moment, I look at what he brought to the world, brought into my life, brought into my wife's life, our clients' lives, his teachings, of helping people. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm saddened that we have lost a living legend, but his legacy will continue. And it's amazing how the universe aligns and gets you prepared when you use your mental faculties of intuition. Bob has been teaching and sharing his wisdom and what he's learned with millions of people throughout the world. And the other day, I was just trying to figure out what I was going to teach and or work out of, and I brought up the book, The ABCs of Success by Bob Procter. And it was interesting because I was, putting off another lesson out of the Go Givers book because I'll be interviewing Bob Berg a week from today. And it just came to me, I should be talking about Bob Procter. And at the same time I was thinking about that, I was wondering about a very special personal letter that he sent, and I thought I had lost it. And I found it in the book. And I think the universe, if we're attuned, prepares us in a very significant way to start talking about Bob and what he teaches. And today, I'm not going to get into the book or the lessons. I'm just going to share with you what he's meant to me and how he's influenced probably millions of people around the world. So I was getting prepared to do this, and I at last minute was checking my emails, and I got the notification that Bob Procter has passed. And we just put prayers out for his family, his friends, his PGI family, all the people he's influenced throughout the world, to provide comfort. And just be grateful that he has crossed your path, because he instilled something in you that you may not have been aware of, your power of your greatness, your potential, all those things, how he's touched people and changed lives. And I remember when I was seeking out something to help my clients in the financial services arena, is kept seeing some very significant issues come up in the coaching. And as one of my other mentors, Dave Ramsey, says, that the results we get in our life are strictly related to behavior. And that caused me to really reflect. And that inquiry led me to Bob Procter. Started looking at his materials, what he was teaching. I reached out to the PGI, the Proctor Gallagher Institute, to find out more about his programs and his coaching. And when I looked into it, I recognized that was definitely something that I could personally use, and that if I can use it and improve my life, my belief systems, and all that, and teach people how to do the same thing, that's what I was seeking. That was part of my mission, part of my why. And so my wife and I both enrolled in the Proctor Gallagher Institute to become certified PGI consultants. And it has made such a huge difference in my life personally. And I know my wife, Kathleen, how it impacted her, and how we've taken his wisdom, his teachings, and his programs, and have taken it to the world ourselves by sharing and facilitating what Bob has been teaching for a very long time. And he will be missed. He will be missed, but he won't be forgotten. And we'll carry on that legacy of his teaching. So through that process of going through it, I really started seeing some transformational ways that I was thinking that was holding me back. I've had various degrees of success in my businesses and my careers in life, but I was always held back. It was always my own thinking, my self-sabotage, my belief systems. And when I took his programs, did I really see for the first time what was causing the results, not living to my fullest potential. And thank God that I ran across Bob. My wife and I both are grateful. And right now we're saddened, but I'm not saddened for the physical loss. I'm saddened for that, excuse me. I'm saddened for the physical loss, but I'm grateful for what he brought to the world, what he brought to me. That's a living memory. I will never forget what he's done and the feeling that it has. Gratitude does work, no matter what is going in a loss. The power of gratitude. And Bob talked a lot about that in his writings and his teachings, directly and indirectly, the power of gratitude. And I remember my first personal encounter with Bob Procter. I think it's really interesting. I talked about what was I going to teach, and getting me prepared. I think me getting back into Bob in a very short notice like this was, Tom, something's up. Something's up. I want to get you prepared for what's coming, the news that's coming. I honestly believe that. That message caused me on Wednesday to talk about his book, his letter, his personal, leaving people in a better place. Such a powerful, powerful principles he taught. So I think it prepared me for today. But my very first, I was already into the program, had finished my wife had both finished the certification program. And part of the requirements to be certified would be go to Toronto and the PGI consultants meetings. Bob would spend a full week with the consultants in a small room environment, teaching these principles at even greater depth than the content and the context that he'd shared. Got to know him, and he's just like you or I. And we look at somebody that has done some very significant thing. He was just like you and I, self-limiting beliefs, doubts, and worries, controlled by fear early on. And many times when we see people of this magnitude, we feel intimidated. And guess what? You don't need to feel intimidated. by people that have led a path. They're there to help you. And so I drove from Wisconsin to Toronto for that required first meeting, which led to several other meetings and another major event working with Bob Procter personally. So I had checked into the hotel the night before, and coming down to the lobby, trying to figure out in this big hotel where to go. And somebody directed me to the elevator. That elevator will take you down to the lower level where the week's workshops are going to be held. So lo and behold, I push the button, the doors open up, and guess who's in the elevator? Bob Procter, by himself. And I got in the elevator. There was no one else around but me and Bob Procter. And I stepped into the elevator. A big smile came across his face. He's dressed to the T. Bob always dressed to the T. And I was awed. I didn't know what to say. And I says, Bob Procter, my name is Tom Ginn. I'm excited for this week of training and teaching from you. And he reached out and shook my hand. I can feel it now. I mean, I can actually feel it now. And no one else got on the elevator. It was just me and him for probably 30, 40 seconds getting to the next level to where this workshop is. And what an experience that was. And that sort of led to more conversation. So I spent that whole week with all the other consultants who were getting certified, and just found out this man was special. But he worked at it. He struggled in life. He had challenges. He had limiting beliefs. And I think some of the things I learned from Bob at those meetings is the one-on-one talks that I had. And he had an intuitive way to know who you are, really are. He could also know what was holding you back just by your conversation. That's the intuitive intellect that he talks about in his teachings. And so I came away with so much more than just what was in the course. Being in the presence of this man for several weeks, because I went 3 different times on consultant training. Not because I needed to, but because I wanted to, because there was something special to learn. It changed my life, and I wanted to learn from the master. I wanted to learn from the very best so that I can become better. Because as Sandy Gallagher says, that success is wrongly defined. It's who you become along the way. To get to your vision, your purpose, and your why is not a goal. It's who you become along. The better you become, you will take you to where you need to be. And as we get better, we can influence the world and the people around us. And that's what Bob did. He knew that he could not influence the world just by himself. He didn't hold this back. His gift, his talents, his wisdom. He had a vision to change the lives of millions and millions of people, and he has. He had a vision to create the Proctor Gallagher Institute with Sandy Gallagher and take his 60 years of teaching and put it in a program. And I'll grab my book here called Thinking into Results, and took the most I think genius is keeping things simple. Our mind is the most complicated thing in the universe, the human mind. But he breaks it down in such an easy way that you can understand it. We got some people coming in. I just want to acknowledge that. Ray, thanks for jumping on. Yeah, the world is deeply saddened. Um, yes, holding that space for Bob, uh, and holding that in your heart and be grateful. It definitely changes everything. Thanks for your contribution, Ray. Another person who knows how it's influenced his life. Thanks, Leo. Thanks for your comment. So thank you. Share this out. Just share this out. So I went 3 different times to the training. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. Because every time I got in his environment, his presence, his personal conversations, I came away with a deeper understanding of Tom Ginn and what was holding me back and what my fullest potential could be and should be. And from there, I've grown. My wife has grown. We've applied these techniques in our lives and our businesses with passion and purpose. We've coached hundreds of people, changing people's lives with these materials. I can't take any credit for it other than my passion and know what it did for me. And want to share it out there. I'm getting emails from our clients saying, Tom, thank you for Bob Proctor's program, Thinking into Results. Bob, let you know, you are in many minds and many hearts throughout the world. You're a legacy. And I'm grateful to know you. I'm eternally grateful for that. We're getting some more comments coming here. Just want to move to that and let me get myself composed here a little bit. Thanks, Kim. Thanks very much. He was just not a teacher, but he was a friend. He extended himself beyond ways I could count. Yeah, we're all in tears. Coach, we're all in tears. But we have a grateful heart at the same time. We're saddened for the physical loss, but internally, he is with us and will always be with us. I believe we have a responsibility to share the message, his teachings by example in life. I think one of the greatest lessons that I learned personally was always leave people in a better place than when you encountered them. And that was a big lesson for me because I was sort of self-centered and the world I thought revolved around me. And then I experienced what that really meant in my life. We're getting some wonderful messages here. I thank everybody for making their comments today. Thanks again, everybody. So every time I encountered Bob, he was so gracious and open as busy as he was and all the tugs and pulls of 20 or 30 consultants in a training, he always found time for people. Always found time for people. And then I took a bigger leap to get to know Bob and take his teachings to a different level. He did a program, a week-long program, both my wife and I attended, called Matrix. Spent a whole week and Bob teaching at a much deeper level, creating the community. And it's interesting. It's interesting. It's just like shared that, I think the universe knew what I needed and what prepared me for this day of on Wednesday, getting into his book and talk about the principles out of this book and finding the letter, telling me and reminding me that I was a 1%er. And that's a pretty significant compliment from Bob Procter, that recognized your accomplishments and that you are truly in a very small group of people willing to learn and share. And leaving people in better, just that leaving people in a better place and recognizing who they are, their greatness and their potential is so important. We all need that in our lives. And those are things I'm coming away with, not just the knowledge and what I learned through the Proctor Gallagher Institute, his teachings, but leaving people in a better place is one of the strongest lessons out of the book, Thinking to Result, his teaching manual. Again, more comments. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for all these people who are coming on today. Gene, thanks a lot for your comments. It's my pleasure. If you haven't studied Bob or been involved with any of his programs, I highly encourage it, everybody out there. Yes. Rest in peace. The universe is smiling. The universe is smiling. So that was a little bit about getting prepared for this day, even though it was a shock. Shifting to talk about Bob's book, finding his letter. I really don't know how he passed, but he lived a full life. And that's part of my vision to do, is live with the passion and vision and purpose that Bob did. Bob was 86, 87 years old, 86 years old, living every day at its fullest potential. I can't wait to, get back in and teach these principles. Some of them are very simple, but they're so profound, what he teaches. Thank you very much for your comments. My prayers go out to his family, his closest friends, his business colleagues, the PGI, Proctor Gallagher Institute family of consultants. Prayers of comfort. But at the same time, we open our prayers to joy. That what he meant to each and every one that he encountered. a special man, a great heart. But I remember one lesson and how intuitive Bob was. I have two stories here that I think are really important that sort of gives the essence of who he was and what he could see in somebody and what he picked up on. I would encourage you to just Google any of Bob's books. You Were Born to Be Rich. I think that book is out of publication, but I think you could probably steal it. His very first book, You Were Born to Be Rich. If you don't have it, you could message me. I do have a PDF copy. I can get you that, Shavi. That would be a good starting point. So it talks about his philosophy. And when he talks about richness, it's not just what's our assets or money and accumulations. We're born to be rich. We are rich. And we have eternal right to own those richnesses. The love and the gifts are so important. Thank you for all your kind comments, his teachings. I know these folks here, I don't know you personally, but that's important to know. So I remember the very first meeting with going to consultant training, and one of the things you had to be prepared for is because part of his learning, become a product of the product, go through the program, get the transformational work done. It's not a one and done thing. Growth is a life journey. But his program gives you the foundation that helps you better deal with your thinking, understanding your thinking. How does it form? How to change those things that are not serving you and the goals and the visions that you have. So I've had several businesses prior to coming into the coaching business, and I had created business plans and marketing plans and all the projections and everything that you would need to build a business and where you want to take it. So I should probably get my 3-ring binder up there, but I won't. So I went to Bob, had that 30-minute consultation with Bob. So he opens up my 3-ring binder. I had it tabbed out. I had it, man. It was spot on. I could take it to a bank. And as he was talking to me, Bob read so much, he could probably see a whole page and digest it. I mean, that's how he could look at something and read and study. He's going through it. He'd stop, ask a few questions, and keep going. And then suddenly he took my 3-ring binder. He sort of did it for an attention, sort of to jar me, maybe. He sort of dropped it on the table like that, just vibrated my desk. He asked me a couple more questions, and I answered those questions. And he says, Tom, the best plans in the world won't work for you. Your plan is perfect. It's got everything it needs to have a successful coaching business. And at first I was a little set back with that. What do you mean? If you have the best plan, he says, any plan won't work for you. Because he asked me some very significant questions about my relationship with money. What's the most I've ever made? So my business plan was marketed out of 5 years to be a $1.2 million a year business, coaching consulting business. And in that process, and asking me other questions, and what were my views about money? How was it brought up? What did my mom and dad think about money? Their belief systems. And all those things. And he just said to me, if you do exactly what I tell you to do, you'll be able to accomplish what's in your plan, what's in your vision. Because he knew this, I didn't believe in Tom Ginn at the fullest level. I had limiting beliefs. One thing you'll learn if you study these disciplines and what it takes to be successful, you can't outperform a belief that you have or your self-image. And those are conditioned programming. And then through life, we continue supporting bad programming to support the bad programming. We'll continue to seek those things out. But what he does is just helps you identify your greatness, your magnificence, your creativity, your genius, that inner genius, and helps you identify that small voice, that subconscious voice that's going to get in the way, and how to change that. And I did exactly what Bob said. It was hard, but it was well worth it. It was hard. Changed everything in my life. Not just in business, but changed Tom Ginn to recognize who I really am and what my purpose and why is. And got me to look at things differently, got me to ask questions. You know, many times we hear about coaching and we hear about what's your goal? What is your goal? And, you know, Bob talked about what was your desire. That's from Napoleon Hill. See, what do you desire in relationship to your purpose, your why, your vision? And goals by themselves don't work. That's through my own personal experience, other mentors and coaches, taking what Bob has taught. And he says the same thing is, what do you love doing? What's your purpose? What's your passion? What's the thing that you get up in the morning, can't wait to do? That's your vision. That's your purpose. That's your calling. And challenge you to make sure that it's grounded into you in a way that nothing is going to get in the way of fulfilling your fullest potential. I'm so grateful that Bob crossed my life, because I just thought it was goals that was to get me to where I wanted to go. I just thought it was the goals. Changed my life. So that was the very first encounter with Bob on a one-on-one. The second one at his home, and I witnessed this. It wasn't really my story. Kathy, my wife, in Matrix, he brought people from all over the world, and we all collaborated. Bob taught deeper of how to identify your vision, your purpose, how to network with people, how to connect and with incredible people. Matter of fact, I was going to cover this in part of what my business things. I wanted to reach it back out. We created in our alumni in Matrix the mindset and purpose that once we are brothers in a cause, we're here to support each other, not for what's in it for me, but how I can support you in your journey in what you want. So these are all the people that are in Matrix. And again, I think this was another calling this week. And I had that thing, reach out to your Matrix family, share with them some transition things you're doing, check in with them to see how they're doing. And I had an ask as well, because Bob encouraged us through the training through Matrix to keep those relationships open. And we're here to serve. So this week, I don't know how many cards there's probably 50, 60 cards here. I reached out to 14 people. I'm going to reach out to all these people today, but I will with a different purpose, just to check in. How you doing? How you doing with knowing that Bob is no longer physically with us? So, like I said earlier in the opening, that the universe gives us what we need to prepare us for what is coming, whether it be a loss or whether it be something magnificent. Bob's physical loss is hurtful, knowing that you can never touch him or hear him in the body. But he is here. He is here in my heart. I will continue to embrace that on a daily basis. I look around my office and the reminders of what Bob and Sandy and the PGI consultants and the people we are associated, magnificent people. So my whole purpose of calling these folks will be different than what my first intention. I honestly believe the universe prepares you if you're in tune to what you need. To what you need. What Bob really taught is we have infinite potential, but what holds us back is our belief system. And I'm so grateful that Bob is in my life. He's gone physically, but he's in my life. He's with me right now. He is here. Not here, he is here. That's the influence that Bob has changed. Hi, Jeanette. Yeah, thank you. He is timeless. His teachings are eternal. As Bob says, he never took credit for anything. He just took the wisdom of those who preceded and found the formula for success and what it really takes. Yeah. His message of abundance is so powerful. And other compliments. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Share this out. You know, many of you want to share this out to other people that know Bob or know of Bob, read his books, been in his programs, have been following him. But many times, just that this one message, that there is somebody out there that can make a difference in somebody's life, their message, their legacy, their purpose, share it out. Because people are seeking growth. It's within our nature to achieve higher levels, whether it be in relationships. We're looking always to achieve and get better. And many times we get stuck and we don't know how to get unstuck. Share this out so that maybe somebody say, who is this Bob Procter guy? It sort of goes back to your faith. Who is that Jesus guy? Or whoever your faith is aligned with. It's only through us can we share good news. Live it, express it, walk it is some of the key things that have impacted my life over the last 7 years. But back to the story, Kathy and I've already had several personal conversations with Bob, and Kathy was her first experience at Matrix to meet with Bob Procter at his home. Had a nice luncheon and everything, and had opportunity to talk with him privately. And I have a video of this. I will play it someday. So we're standing in Bob's backyard, just outside his studio. He had a studio in the back of his yard up in Toronto, and introduced wife, and immediately took her hand. I'll never forget this. He immediately took her hand and just held her hand and looked at her. Because she had questions. My wife is the person that asked the 10,001 questions. But before she could even ask any questions, he's holding her hand, looking at her, feeling her presence, feeling her energy. This is a phenomenal story. And then he says, and he went, I won't get into the things, but he saw her. He knew the questions that she had before she even asked them. He gave a clear picture of who she was, her essence, and she hadn't even had a conversation with Bob other than the fact we were in this workshop. And I have it recorded for posterity. That's the power of intuition. This is one of the mental faculty we have, is that an intuitive and being present with people. See, we're communicating in many different ways, but we're biggest majority of our communication is at subconscious level, that quiet voice, that energy that comes from us. And he painted a picture clearer than I could have described my wife and her potential and who she was and her fears. He knew it. And that was phenomenal. So that was the second one, is seeing the greatness of a person that really cared about people. He, even though there was 30 or 40 other people in the backyard, coming in and out of his home, coming in and out of his studio, and he had that all quieted down, and he was in her presence. And I filmed it. And that blew my mind. I says, that's where I need to be. That's where I want to strive to become. That I can be with somebody and just be with them. To get to know them. And that's a hard thing to do. But he had a lifetime to master that. And so, Ray, thanks for making more comments. Thanks for hanging in here today. I'll be wrapping up here in the next couple minutes. Hour. An exclamation. You know, Bob would always talk about words. Most people don't know how to study. Bob would go through and he'd find something, and he would study a page or a sentence or a paragraph for weeks on end until he understood the power of the words. And Ray just put up hour with an exclamation. There's meaning behind that word, deeper than just the word. Ray, thanks much. Yeah, it does help to talk about it. But I'm coming from a saddened heart, but I'm coming from a joyful heart. I'm coming from a place of gratitude. And I know gratitude is, on the surface, many times people think it's a good feel, but it is part of law. Bob talked about the laws. And gratitude, I believe, I call it the mortar between the bricks of life. No matter what's happening, the sadness, the loss, the disappointments, we can go to a place of gratitude. So you can't hold a negative thought and a positive thought at the same space. It may be fleeting, but embrace gratitude. And that's what's coming out. What he meant to me. I'm focusing on what he meant to me through gratitude. Yeah, I had tears here a little bit ago. I know I'm going to have some more the more I think about him. And just share this out. There's been many great mentors and coaches that I've studied. But Bob did something so much different and special, is understanding how you can look at yourself at the subconscious level, because that's where we're operating from, and change that programming to change your results. Thinking into results, his program. And Bob had 60 some years. Sandy Gallagher came in and reorganized his company, wanted to make it a legacy company, a legacy platform. And I tell you what, if you have not enrolled into a thinking to result program with a certified PGI consultant. I just highly encourage you to look into it. Because it's one thing to read a book, it's one thing to go to a seminar, there's one thing to watch YouTube or all these great, but there's something about the way Bob helps us better understand how to take this, apply it or facilitate it so a person can then put it to work and start seeing the results. Building that foundation of success and belief systems that will carry you wherever you want to go. So today, I am convinced this week, what transpired was prepping me to deal with the news, the sad news. The sad news that we've lost somebody physically, but we have not lost him. His writings, his seminars, his workshops, the PGI Legacy Company, PGI Consultants, PGI, and the thousands of consultants and trained just like myself to carry on the work. It'd be my honor if you've got any questions or concerns about that. I'd be glad to share the power of thinking and results. I'm always open. My contact information is in this banner. Let's see if I can find it. Within that link tree, 4 Rivers is my email, my calendar link, some more information about some of the other things I do as well. Yeah, that's one thing that Bob really taught is believe bigger. You can do more. And I've embraced those things in a very deep way. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for sharing this today. Ray, congratulations. Were you, Ray, were you a client or are you a consultant? Just if you can put that in there, that'd be great. Ray, if you go to that link tree /4 rivers /4 rivers, my calendar link is in there, or you can message me here on Facebook. Let's see if I can put something in the banner. I'll put my calendar link in there for everybody if that would like it. Schedule something. While I do that, just be patient here. I'm just going to put my calendar link in real quick. You can reach out to me. There you go, Ray. That is my calendar link. You can just shoot a time, a 10-15 minute phone call or a Zoom call. Book something on my calendar. I'd be glad to get to know you, my friend. I would call you a friend. Great. Well, I'm going to sign out here. And I just want to close with prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we just come to you today with a heart of gratitude, even in this time of loss. And we just pray for those that know Bob personally, have been influenced by Bob, which are millions, that we offer prayer and hold Bob up with gratitude. We offer a prayer of comfort during time of loss. And that we will take what Bob has taught us, or we will seek out more what Bob has taught us and take it to the world. That we become a walking legacy creator, helping people improve their lives. And the only way we can do it, improve the world, is improve ourselves, and then share that with other people. I'm so grateful to know Bob for eternity. Amen. I am going to sign out. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to put my banner back up real quick for those that may want to reach out to me, have conversation. There it is. God bless everybody. Have a great day. I am so grateful for this moment. So grateful, because how I address this moment will dictate how I address the next moment. Can't hold a negative and a positive in the same space. God bless everybody. A couple more messages here. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Jeanette, for being here. Have a great day. We'll talk with you tomorrow, Jeanette. Bye. We are signing out.